Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got the Hubsan Zino 2 again today. So there was a firmware update for the controller to version 1.12. In the notes here it says what's updated: optimize remote control connection stability. So I haven't seen any instability in the controller. Maybe a few times the FPV kind of locked up a little bit, but nothing too terrible. I thought it was pretty good. So I don't know, we'll just take a look and see what we see. The main point today is we want to look at landing. So we're going to try precision landing again, and I'll step back here. You can see I've got the blue side up on the landing pad, and I have it on the edge of the concrete pad here. So we're going to be able to look at that and see if that makes a difference and if we get any better result with precision landing. I am right next to the picnic shelter here, so I'm going to have to watch it come down, and if it's off, obviously we're going to have to cancel the landing so it doesn't hit the shelter. You know, it does have downward facing sensors, but I'm not sure it would stop it from landing in an unsuitable spot. Like for instance with a DJI drone, it simply wouldn't land in a situation like that. But in any case, we're going to keep trying it out here, and we're going to try several takeoffs and landings, both the return to home with precision landing, and then also we want to try some manual landings. Now, Bermuda Bob left me a message on Facebook, and he basically said, gave me some instructions. He said, hey, make sure that your volume is up on your phone so that you can hear what the app is telling you. I didn't hear it before, so hopefully I'll mess around with make sure the volume is correct on my phone and not muted. So we'll see if we can hear that landing statement that evidently the app says when you're landing. And he said once it says landing, he said let go of the stick and it will automatically land. So we're going to give that a try. I've had issues in the past with just holding the stick down, the left stick down, and even when the drone lands, motors spinning up. And I'm not the only one. A number of commenters have reported to me that their drone flipped over, etc. I didn't have the drone flip over, but I had situations where it kind of moved around and stuff. So you know, typically when you hold the stick down, most drones, you hold that left stick down, it puts it into landing mode, and it will just come down and land. The other thing we're going to look at is those downward facing sensors. You know, I messed around with them a little bit when I was out at the Snake River. Didn't see that they did much. So I'll stick my hand under them again, and we'll see if we can see anything that they do, and we'll just look at the overall stability of the drone, and we'll go from there. So yeah, this is just kind of a test flight today, just to you know, look more at the stability of the drone and those landing procedures, etc. So let's quit messing around. Let's get the thing in the air. And yeah, we'll do that now. Okay, so I did a compass calibration there, and it's the thing is stating ready to fly. Oh, I forgot, we better do a GPS accuracy test. So it's saying it's good, so we should be good to go. I'm going to start recording now. Recording is on. Okay, so we have 13 satellites. Let's go ahead and take off. I'm going to hit the takeoff button on the app right now. So there's the drone, very smooth. You know, it's holding its place very well. There's little to no wind. Might be sinking a little bit. We'll yaw it around. I turned the yaw down a little bit on the app. Let's bring it in just a little. And it's drifting around. I'm off the controls, so it's drifting around a little. So, but pretty stable. So we're going to start with our usual manual droning. So reverse and up right now. Reverse and up. And it sank there before I even touched the controls. It sank. So there we are. That gives us a good look. Yeah, I'm looking at the FPV on the screen. It's not as clear as I've seen it at other times. Let's just do a little yaw around. Hey, I'm going to test here. Like I said, I adjusted the yaw down, I think, to like 40%. So let's. I'm going to do a full yaw here, and let's see what it does. Yeah, that's still pretty quick. Yeah, that's awful quick. So I'm going to say that's just fine. In fact, I probably could slow it down even more than that. Okay, let's do our return to home, and we're above the return to home height. I have it set at 50 meters, so we'll try a precision landing here. And like I said, I am right next to the picnic shelter here. So if the drone looks like it's coming down and gonna hit that shelter or something, obviously we'll abort it. Okay, so we started return to home, and it should come right back to the takeoff point. And as soon as it starts descending, we'll turn off video, because it needs the video camera to look for the landing pad. Okay, shutting off video now. So it's coming down, and we have some kids walking this direction, so we might have to abort here. Yeah, so we're not going to have any problem. It doesn't look to me like it's going to be anywhere near the building here. Maybe it could move that direction. Yeah, it's moving around a lot. Look at it there. So it's looking at the target. You know, my worry is that it'll make a last-minute move and hit the side of the building there, but I don't know, we might get it here. It's looking pretty good. We don't have the green. Usually that target, there it just turned green. We might have this, guys. This might be my first precision landing. Hey, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna call that a success. That is our first successful precision landing with the Hubsan Zino 2. So I think that has to do with the fact that I had the pad on concrete, and you know, I don't know if it's the blue side up or not. Maybe we can flip it over to the orange side and try that out too. But you know, regardless, I'll be honest with you, precision landing to me is just, it's not a terribly important feature. It's just fun to test. It's just fun to mess around with. So anyway, let's take off again, and let's look at some other things. I would like to try the landing method that Bermuda Bob suggested, manual landing. So we'll give that a shot. Okay, starting recording. And we'll do another auto takeoff. Okay, let's bring it back in, and let's see if we can do a manual landing here. Okay, I'm going to point the camera down here. So wow, I must have really slowed down the gimbal. So yeah, it looks like I'm a little bit off from the pad here. Let's get it centered right on the pad. Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult to get those fine controls. You know, if I was doing this with the Mini, it'd be no problem. It tends to overshoot. So as soon as I move it over, it tends to move back where it was. Then it goes backwards. Okay, I'm going to hold the stick now, and we're going to see if we hear that landing. So I'm holding the stick down. Now, you saw the motors continue to run there after it landed. Now, I'm going to say it might have gone into landing mode. I did not hear the app call out landing, and I have volume turned all the way up. Nothing is muted, you know, unless there's something in the menus or something that controls that. I don't know. But you know, the thing is, I hear that voice when it says, you know, that the USB cord is disconnected or whatever. But nothing said landing there that I could hear. And I guess it kind of worked. I mean, I let go of the stick and it still landed, but boy, those motors still spun. So let's try that again. Let's mess around with it. Okay, so let's do a manual takeoff, and we'll bring it in again, and we'll see what we can do landing wise. Okay, both sticks out. We spun up the motors. There we go. Let's go out a little bit. And I'm watching, you know, the drone descended and then rises. That's typical Hubsan Zino, you know. Did you see how much it rose there as soon as I let off the sticks? I mean, and now it's sinking and I'm not touching the sticks. You know, what are those downward facing sensors doing? It almost looks like it's ready to land or something. So I'm, you know, there's all this talk about those sensors. We're going to try those out a little bit more too here. But yeah, now it's kind of settled in. Looks like it's at a height of 1 meter. We'll turn around. And I'm not dumb enough to go full stick forward, but we're going to move it forward. Because what I'm afraid of is that, yeah, it's descending. See, even more, down to less than 1 meter. We got some people walking across right towards us with a dog, so we'll pick it up here. Okay, we're bringing it in here. Okay, so I am, I don't know exactly. We're probably not right on top of the pad, but let's bring it down. I'm gonna hold the stick down, and I'm gonna listen really close and see if I can hear that landing. Now the drone kind of paused there, and I let go of the stick, and nothing. So I mean, it's not going into landing mode. I'm just telling you, it's not going into landing mode. I'm not hearing it on the app, and the drone is not going into landing mode. So let's turn it around here. And we'll take a look at those downward facing sensors and we'll see if we can get any action out of them. So those sensors are under the back of the drone. So I'm going to put my hand right under the back of those sensors and let's see what happens. Well, you know what? That worked. We got some action out of those sensors. It actually did move the drone up. Let's back it up a little bit and try it again. Moved to one side, and then when I got right under it, the drone, no question, the drone moved up. So they are active. I mean, there again, it moved up very subtly, a little bit. You know, if you did that with a DJI drone, it would have been a lot more of a dramatic move. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and we're going to try that again. Okay, yeah, they work. So, yeah, I'm going to say that's, I'm going to say that, you know, they definitely operate. So, we proved it just then. So let's try another landing here. Let's back it up. And, I'm going to go full stick down, and the only way that I've been successful at this is to hold that stick down. So we're going to go full stick down. So it paused, so I let go, now and nothing. So I'm holding the stick down. I hope you guys can see that. And the motors are still running, finally they shut off. So the only way I can get this thing to land is to hold that stick, just hold it down. Whatever that landing that people are telling me about, and I've heard it on other people's videos, so I'm sure it's there, but it doesn't appear on mine. Like I said, I double checked my phone, nothing is muted, nothing is, you know, the volume is turned all the way up. There's no message on the screen that says landing. You know what you would expect, that it would say that it's going into landing mode, or at least I didn't see it. You know, I wasn't looking directly at the FPV screen, I was looking at the drone. So let's try that again. Okay, we are going to do an auto takeoff this time. Okay, so the drone took off. Let's look at how it holds its position. So we're at exactly 2 meters. So we're going to go full stick forward, nothing on the left stick, just the right stick, full stick forward. And look at it sink. Yeah. So if I hadn't let off, I'm not so sure that it wouldn't have just augured right into the ground. It was dropping fast. And you know, then as soon as I let off, the drone rises. Now it sinks, and it continues to sink. And like I said, it was hovering at 1 meter, and now, or excuse me, at 2 meters, and now it's at 1.1 meters, or less than 9/10 of a meter, about 3 feet off the ground. So that's pretty weird. You know, as far as stability, and let me add. Not that you're going to be flying that close to the ground anyway. So, you know, if you get the drone way up in the air, that meter variation is not going to make any difference. But I'm just doing this to demonstrate the stability of this drone. One of the things that we used to talk about with the original Zino all the time is the way when you were going full stick forward or full stick backward, it would dive or sometimes raise, and then also on turns. So let's bring it back in, and I am, you know, like I said, it's only 1 meter off the ground, so I'm not going to go full throttle, but let's see what it does. And see, it's sinking. It's half a meter off the ground. And as soon as yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, And it's sinking again here. I mean, it's, you know, that's exactly what those downward facing sensors are supposed to do, and what that optical flow sensor is supposed to, when it sees movement, it's supposed to hold that altitude. So anyway, like I said, this isn't a terrible thing, and this is not a reason not to buy this drone or anything. It's a good drone. I'm just telling you that it doesn't work as well as it does on some other drones. For instance, you know, a DJI drone. So, and like I said, I'm not trying to say, obviously, a Mavic 2 is way more expensive than this drone. I'm just showing you this so that you know and you keep it in mind when you're flying this drone. So let's bring it in. Let's try another manual landing. And we're a lot closer to the ground. Let's bring it over here. Okay, so you can see I'm going to go full stick down and then let go. Yeah, so it stopped as soon as I let go. So it's not going into any kind of landing mode. It says hover mode. Let's hold the stick down. Yeah, there it said landing mode. Yeah, so it probably said landing mode the other times I was trying it too. I just wasn't looking at the FPV screen at the time. So there, you know, it kind of did okay. It still spun the motors for a minute. What I'm telling you is I am not getting that audible warning that it's in landing mode. So, I mean, it's there again. That's nothing to panic about. Obviously, you can land this thing. I think you just need to pay more attention than you would on another drone. Like I said, I'm used to just holding the stick down and the drone goes into landing mode and lands. So, okay, we're down to 36% battery. I got some other stuff I want to try here. So, so let's do a manual takeoff. Okay, so the function button on this thing. So I set the function button. I'm going to go double check it right now in the controls here. This is where down here it says remote control custom button FN. So I've got it set, I had it set to exit the current mode, whatever that means. So let's go to gimbal recovery level. Or try. Yeah. So I think what that is for instance, if you press the button, if the gimbal's looking up, you press it, it'll look full down. If it's looking full down, you press it again and it'll go back to level. That's what it is on most other drones when you have that function. So I'm going to just kind of set the gimbal someplace in the middle here, and we're going to hit that button right now, and nothing. So let me, I'm going to drop the gimbal all the way down. Boy, I've really got that gimbal slowed way down here. Okay, the gimbal is looking 90 degrees down. Let's hold that button again and let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm holding it down and nothing. So I'm going to say that that button is, whatever it is, it's for something other than what I thought it was. So I'm going to pick the gimbal back up. Yeah, it's telling me the battery level's at 30%. Yeah, I definitely need to speed up that gimbal. So let's look and see what that exit the current mode is. I'm going to put the drone up a little higher here, and we are going to go into a creative video. I'm sorry, it's been a while. So panorama shot. So what'll happen there is the drone will just spin on its axis, and then hold it. We don't want to do that yet. I need to go change that. I need to change that button. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting messed up here. So we're going to go into the button. We're going to change it to exit the current mode. So what I would think that is when you're in one of those intelligent flight modes, that it'll exit that mode. So anyway, we'll try that. So so let's go back in there. And we're going to go into creative video, panorama, and go. And we're going to go 360, and we're going to say go. And so you see the drone is moving around here. Now I could hit that stop button on the screen, but let's hit the function button and see if it exits the mode. Nope. I don't know what that thing's for. So it doesn't seem to do anything. So the function button, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna hit stop on that panorama shot. Let's back the drone up, and I'm gonna drop the gimbal just a little bit. We are gonna go into sport mode, and let's go full backwards, and let's see if that affects. Yeah, so it's going to do return to home. So yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll let it return to home. We'll let it count down here. Yeah, count it down. So it'll come back here. It should ascend up to 15 meters, and it is 50 meters, I meant to say. And I don't know, let's see if we can get a precision landing. Oh, it shut off video when it completed, when I stopped that 360. I always forget about that. You got to remember when you're doing that 360 panorama, they call it. It shuts off video at the end, so that's good. So let's see what it does here on precision landing, and let's see if it hits its spot. And as soon as it gets down to like 15 meters, it'll drop the camera down. And I want to be ready in case it wants to go into the side of this building here, this picnic cover here. %17 battery. I think we're going to get it again, guys. Load the camera just a little there. Yeah, I think we're going to get it. Drone's moving around just a little. There, we got green. And it should pick the camera back up again here as soon as it gets to a certain point. And it did. And it landed, so... And you know, one thing I'm going to say that I noticed there on that landing is that it landed a little bit hard, and it bounced a little bit, which again tells me those downward facing sensors don't exactly know when to shut things off. And the motors ran for just a second, or a fraction of a second afterwards. So 2 feet on and 2 feet off. I'm going to call that a success. So yeah, we're down to 15% battery. Let me shut everything down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Oh, I want to show you one more thing before I shut this thing down. Yeah. So somebody told me that you could stop that beeping with the function button, and that works. Hey, that's awesome. So remember that function button will stop the beeping. Okay, God, I'm glad we tested that. Okay, so but I wanted to show you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the sun here, if I can shade it. I'm going to move the camera around where it's kind of in the shade of the camera. So the battery level for the controller there is up in the top right hand corner, and it's showing about 3/4 battery right now. Now the reason I want you to see that is I was a little bit concerned before, because I'd flown 2 batteries, and when I was in the middle of that second battery, I started getting a low battery alert. And to be fair, I had done firmware updates with that charge, and then of course I did on this too with the. So I'm wondering if maybe part of that controller update was to improve battery life. Anyway, looking good. I mean, that's fine. You know, what I would say is reasonable is that you want to be able to get, you know, 3 or 4 drone batteries worth of flight out of one charge on the controller. Anyway, let's get everything shut down. Okay, guys, so the Hubsan Zino 2. Hey, I want to show you one more time. I know in my first video I showed how to put the cover back on this, and I struggled when I first did it. I was trying to attach these 2 hooks at the front. And if you try that, you will really struggle. I'm not saying you won't get it in there, but the way to do it is just to push it straight up, and it will put the camera right in the cradle in there, and snap that bottom one in, and you're good to go. So that's an easy way to do it. It took me a few tries to figure that out, but yeah, it snaps right in there. You know, Hubsan does these covers really well. I wish DJI would take lessons from Hubsan on these camera covers, because they work, gimbal covers, because they work really good. Okay, the Hubsan Zino 2. Yeah, so this was a fun test flight. I had fun with this thing, and this is an awesome little drone with a great camera on it. But there are limitations. So the reason that I do these videos is so that you guys understand how your Zino 2 may work. Now, people tell me that they hear that landing warning and the drone comes down to land. I think we were kind of marginally successful with that. It worked a couple times. Another time it didn't. It sat there on the pad and ran the motors for quite a while on one of those. So it's just something you got to keep in mind when you're doing a manual landing with this. And I'd say if you are worried about that, on my last video I showed how you can put it into landing mode on the return to home button, where you can simply select land in place and the drone will just auto land by itself. What I wish they would do, and I hope maybe in an app update or something, Hubsan, if you're listening, maybe put an auto landing button on the app so that you can just bring it where you want, hit the auto landing button and let it land. So just kind of interesting. I mean, like I said, that's not a deal breaker. It's not a horrible thing. It's just something that you guys need to know about. And listen, I know other people are seeing the same thing I am, and I also know other people that are saying they don't see it. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. And then the downward facing sensors. When my first flight, I kind of stuck my hand in there a couple times and it didn't seem to do much. Now, we proved this time though that they do work, because I held my hand under there and the drone did rise. It moved over a little bit one time and then it rose straight up. That's what you're going to expect out of those sensors, and that's what they're for. They're to tell the drone where the ground is and how to stay stable in horizontal flight. The optical flow and those time of flight sensors are the infrared sensors down here are telling the drone how far off the ground it is, and to keep that. Now, I think we kind of proved that that's not exactly working like it should perfectly either, because you saw me, you know, when it would take off, it would hover at about 2 meters, and then I turned around and went full stick forward, and it went down to 1 meter and below, and then as soon as I would let off the stick, it would rise way up, and then it would sink back down. So, you know, there's still some work to do on that software, I'm going to say. Okay, and that said, listen, how often are you going to be flying your drone 1 meter off the ground? I mean, I don't see that as a big issue at all. It's something that you know, you need to be cognizant of, but it's not anything that's going to when you have the drone way up in the air, you're not even going to know if it moves 1 meter up or down. And by the way, when it's higher up in the air, those downward sensors don't do anything. Then it's just GPS and the barometer. So yeah, there's just some things for you to know. The function button, if anybody knows how to make that work, let me know. I tried the gimbal button and I tried the exit mode button, so maybe I misunderstand what it's supposed to do. It's very possible. If you know, please let me know in the comments. What we did prove though is it's really good at shutting off the beeping. Like when we did the I don't know if it was a low battery beeping or it was still beeping because we had it returned to home, but I held that function button down and the beeping stopped. So hey, that's worth the price of admission right there. I like that. So anyway, so maybe that's what it means by exit mode. That could be. And that might be. Anyway, so at landing mode, maybe, oh, we'll have to try that next time. So maybe when you have it in return to home, you can hit that button and stop return to home. It's possible. I don't know. We'll have to try that next time. But in any case, gosh, that's about it. I hope you found some value in this video, and it looks like we chopped up a few bugs while we were up there. Yeah, this is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and we absolutely will see you on the next one. Hubsan Zino 2, man, this thing is really fun, guys. I can recommend this drone, particularly if the prices come back down to those introductory prices of $400. Even if it was like $450 or something, man, it's a great value for the money. Camera is outstanding. See you on the next one. Bye.